and welcome to my channel. This week has been kind of hectic and a little insane, to put it quite nicely, or as nicely as I can. And I honestly feel like this is one of those weeks that feels like it has been a year. I just feel like there's been a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, with my friends and family, with my health, which I kind of touched on in the last video, just to the point where it makes it feel like this week has been just dragging on and on and on. And so today I got off of work a little earlier than I normally would, so I decided that I wanted to kind of have a bit of a like self-care day, more of like a self-care afternoon. It's obviously not going to be a whole day, but I kind of just wanted to take a moment to decompress and like lay back and just relax for a while. And I'm gonna take that opportunity today since I have it. I'm currently on my way to like my favorite sushi place, and I'm actually not gonna get sushi from them. I'm just planning on getting the crab rangoon they have, though I don't know, depending on like if they're having any deals with like half off rolls, I might end up getting something, but right now the plan is just some crab rangoon. And then I'm pretty much planning on going straight home and starting my decompression for the day. I have a couple of ideas of what I'm gonna do, but I'm going to wait until I get home to kind of explain everything to you, so I will see you then. All right, so I am now home, and I actually have already finished eating my lunch. I did end up getting the crab rangoon, and I also ended up getting a sushi roll. I think it was called an Alaska roll. It had salmon, crab, and avocado in the middle. I don't remember if I actually talked about it earlier while I was in the car, but one of the reasons that I am kind of having a bit of a self-care day today is because yesterday I went to a doctor's appointment, and that was really rough. It actually wasn't really that rough. It wasn't like insane. It wasn't a bad experience necessarily. But sometimes just going to the doctor's office can be a lot. And I did end up having to get some blood drawn, which was not enjoyable, which was not fun, quite frankly. I am like definitely not a fan of getting your blood drawn. I hate it. I can feel it and I hate it. I don't like it. And despite the fact that I know it only makes the pain worse, I tense up every time. So because of that, my arm is still a little sore, which is so awesome. But I decided that I wanted to do a little bit of a self-care day when I realized that I would be getting off work a little bit earlier than normal. So that's what I'm doing today. I've already had some comfort food, and I think now I am going to go ahead and take a quick shower because I need to do that. And you know, maybe it can be a bit of a longer shower where I do a little like more specific routine or whatever. But I think the next time you'll see me is when I am out of the shower and when I decide what I'm going to do next. All right, so I am now obviously out of the shower, and now I am thinking that I want to pick out like a cute matching set for my pajamas, because I think that will just give me a lot of like dopamine, quite frankly. I was originally thinking that I would go with something pink. However, I have this cute little matching set that is yellow with like white hearts on it that I think is so cute. It's like a little tank top and shorts. I'm kind of thinking about that, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna keep looking as well. I'm actually also kind of into the idea of this little tank top and short combo. It's just like a purplish, reddish, maroon, like it's maroon adjacent, I want to say, maybe a plum. I'm not really quite sure what color this would be, but it is really cute. This is another very likely option. You know what? I think I am gonna go with the more purpley look as opposed to the yellow. So I am going to put this on. I will be right back. And I am now in my matching pajama set. I think it is very comfortable, very cute. So now that I am done with my shower, the next thing I wanted to do was some skincare. But while I'm doing that, I actually wanted to listen to a vinyl that I got recently. The album is called The Art of Loving by Olivia Dean. It came out this year. And honestly, the more and more that I listen to it, just the more that I fall in love with it, like every single time. It is slowly creeping towards like my favorite album of this entire year, which is saying a lot because some of my favorite pop girlies released albums this year that were really good and that I really liked. So I don't know, I guess I'll have to wait a couple more months just to fully feel everything out, but I don't know. I think she's a pretty strong contender because The Art of Loving is such a beautiful album, just so good. Her voice is amazing, and it's just, I cannot praise it enough, quite frankly. But I got it on vinyl the other day, and I have not actually spun it yet. So I really want to do that, and I thought, what a better time to listen to my vinyl than when I'm just hanging out in my room doing some skincare. Anyway, I am thinking that will be the next like 30 minutes is how long I believe the album is. Maybe I'll dance around my room a little bit. I'm not entirely sure. I think after I'm done with my skincare, I'm actually gonna do a little bit of baking, which will mean that we'll be moving areas again, but that's fine. It is what it is. That's my way of relaxing. So I'm going to get on spinning that vinyl and doing my skincare, and then I will get back to you as soon as I am ready and in the kitchen. So I am now done doing my skincare and listening to The Art of Loving on vinyl, which was so fun. I ended up doing a couple little things like putting some dirty clothes in the laundry, putting away some clean clothes. I took out the trash, and I danced around my room while I was listening to that album because it is just so good. Again, I cannot say enough about it. It is so incredible. If you haven't listened to it already, literally, what are you doing? Go listen to it. It is so good. But like I said, I'm done listening to that, at least for now. So moving on to the next thing that I was talking about earlier, I'm going to be baking some muffins. My family has bought this brand of like muffin mix ever since I was a kid. So this is very nostalgic for me. I am a huge fan of this brand. I think they always come out really good. And recently, actually, I have started making them with almond milk, and it makes them even better. And literally the only thing that you have to do to make it is add a half cup of milk. So this is like a super simple thing, and it gives me breakfast for quite a few days, actually. So I always love making these. I generally will like make them with my mom, or when my sister used to live here, I used to make them with her. But obviously my mom is at work right now, and my sister no longer lives in the same state as me. So I make these by myself now, which I'm realizing now that I've explained that entire thing kind of sounds like a little depressing, but like I genuinely do like spending time by myself. So I really don't mind having like chill days like today where I'm not really doing much, where I'm not really going out and socializing or anything. I'm just like having a good time at home when I'm listening to music and dancing around my room, or like doing some skincare or doing an everything shower. Like honestly, I'm having the time of my life no matter what. I'm gonna go ahead and do both at the same time, actually, because why not? I'm also the kind of person that prefers to like clean up while I'm baking, like not leave anything or everything for the last moment. I just really prefer to clean my area as I go, if possible. I'm gonna start with the just regular chocolate chip, just, you know, giving it a good mix. This like isn't anything crazy. I have friends that like bake stuff from scratch all the time and like bake things that are gluten-free and like make their meals from scratch. And I, as much as I would love to be that girl, because it looks like so much fun and like they're genuinely eating healthier because they like know all of the ingredients that are going into it because they picked out the ingredients. I'm not that girl. I'm not. Okay, now moving on to the chocolate or the double chocolate or whatever it said on the bag. Which actually reminds me, I threw away the bags before I checked how long I'm supposed to bake these for. I've had the Wicked soundtrack stuck in my head all day. Specifically Dancing Through Life, just because I love that song. But I am so excited for Wicked Part 2. I think that that is going to definitely be in my like highest rated movies of the year, if I had to guess, even though I haven't seen it yet. Seeing the sheer amount of like hype that Wicked Part 1 got was like genuinely so much fun and so cool. And I know sometimes people will find it like annoying when some of their like favorite media becomes like mainstream, or like an artist that's like very small like blows up overnight and like everyone knows their music, but only the ones that are really popular. They don't know all the deep cuts. But I'm personally a huge fan of when things that I like that have such small communities suddenly have such large communities. I don't really know why I started talking about that. I was talking about Wicked and how I'm excited for part 2, but anyway. Since I'm just kind of expressing random thoughts today, I was talking with one of my coworkers about Olivia Dean and how much I love this new album that she has out, and how I'm really hoping that she gets nominated for some Grammys this year. I have not been a fan long enough to know if she's been nominated for stuff in the past, but I think she could absolutely sweep some categories this year, if I'm being honest. Okay, and I think I pretty evenly divvied that up for 6 chocolate chip muffins. And now I move on to the chocolate chip muffins. What are some other fun little things that I can talk about? Well, let's talk about self-care, since this video is like about self-care, right? When I was younger, and by younger I mean like when I was in high school, so a couple of years ago, because I'm 21, I'm not that old. But when I was younger, I used to find it a little hard to like do self-care for myself, because the way that I like saw it, or at least how I saw other people doing it, was like these super intricate skincare routines, or like taking a bubble bath and like full body exfoliation, and like going to a spa and like getting a massage. But I like wasn't really a huge fan of that when I was a kid. I didn't like the idea of like getting my nails done. I didn't love the idea of getting a massage at a salon, whatever. So I just kind of didn't really do any form of self-care. And I say any form because now that I'm older and I have like lived a little more and like talked to more people, I know that like self-care isn't necessarily like using a specific product and your skin glowing afterwards, or like going in looking kind of like hot trash and then coming out looking like a new person entirely. It's not about like external factors all the time. Sometimes it is about like doing some simple skincare, but sometimes it's about reading a book, or it's about going outside and feeling the sun on your skin when you haven't in a couple of days, or it's about listening to music that you know you really like and dancing around your room, and watching a TV show that you really like, or a movie that you've been wanting to watch but have been putting off for some reason. Like, self-care can truly come in so many forms, and I really wish that I had realized that earlier. Okay, I am officially done putting the muffins in. This is what it looks like right now. And I also just realized that I haven't been letting the oven preheat this entire time, which would have been smart, but you know, I'm blonde, so there's that. So the bag says the oven needs to be on at 400. So that will probably take a little bit of time for it to preheat. And it will also probably take at least 14 minutes for the muffins to fully bake. So I think I am going to take this time to, first of all, clean up my space, which is luckily only 2 bowls, but also going to take a little bit of time to read my book, because the one that I have picked out right now, I believe it's called The Final Flight by Julie Clark. I'm not loving it at the moment. I feel like it's kind of dragging on, and I really prefer like dialogue heavy books. And there hasn't been a lot of actual dialogue, which sometimes makes me struggle to like actually read everything on the page. Sometimes I'll skim read and then I'll miss stuff and then I have to go back, and that's no fun. But I want to sit down and read a little more in that book, because maybe the more I read, I'll eventually get to some dialogue or just start enjoying it more. I don't know. But yeah, that's my plan. And I think I'll come back to you actually once the muffins are out of the oven, and we'll talk about what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my night. The muffins are officially out of the oven and they are now cooling off right now. I like literally just pulled them out of the oven, so I'm not gonna like try to pick it up and show you, but I will pick you up to show you. This is how they came out. I would say they look pretty good. They look basically exactly like they normally do, so that's a good sign for sure. I might end up trying one in a little bit. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of hungry. And speaking of being kind of hungry, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started on making dinner, or at least like prepping for dinner, because my parents should be home from work relatively soon. And quite frankly, I want to eat potato soup as quickly as humanly possible, because that sounds delicious. For the rest of the night though, I don't think I'm really going to be doing much. I'll probably end up watching some kind of like comfort movie. I'm kind of thinking about the Lego Batman movie. I'm a huge fan of that movie, but I also am trying to get through the entirety of The Vampire Diaries, which has proven to be a lot more time consuming than I initially thought it would be. But I don't think I am going to be doing anything else for this self-care video, because anything else that I'm planning on doing tonight or like thinking of doing tonight is not really entertaining or like stuff that I can show without getting like a copyright strike. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. If you made it to the end of the video, please take this as your sign to take a self-care day, or half of a day, or even just an hour in the day if you can manage it, because truthfully, it can be so relaxing to just like put down your phone and not worry about what's going on outside, things that you can't control, and just focus on the things that you can and do things that will bring you genuine joy and just like happiness. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!